said at the beginning of the press conference this evening, and she said, hey, we just know we teams met.
Here's Melbourne working off Dolson. Turns the corner, gets right to the hoop, lays it up and in.
Get right to it. Paint. Here's the paint and finish at the cup. Washington has done a magnificent job with that as of late.
Inside, Temi Fagben
Factor in terms of her offense.
Veronica Burton going to be whistled for the foul, holding up on Steph Dolson.
Getting that wrist to the backboard.
Melbourne was getting downhill as she's fouled. Will head to the free throw line. Temi Fagbenle called for the foul.
Let's take a look at another rim attack by the Washington Mystics. And you saw that swipe down, hit her on the forearm. Temi Fagbenle tagged her on the way up. And if Washington can get themselves to the free throw line, that would be great.
Take a look at your keys to tonight's game, Christy.
Well, for Washington, they have to limit strikes from three. You know, you see the Valkyries, they like to take a high volume from there, only shooting 31% as a team, but they're going to crack those threes early and often, especially in transition. And speaking of transition, Washington needs to do a great job of turning the Valkyries over. The last time they were matched up, a 17-3 advantage on points off of turnovers.
Hayes gets right downhill. Christy, to your point on the threes, they get them up at over 30 taken a game. Melbourne, here comes Dolson now.
Some off-ball movement on this weak side, a little stagnant.
Area fend. Sutton, 6 on the shot clock. Sutton attacking. Has it stripped behind by Hayes. Burton now pushing. Cross court, and it goes out of bounds. As Emily Engsler will check into the ball game here.
You saw them turning those wheels over in transition defense. That's another key. Those first 3 steps when you're trying to get back, especially against a team like Golden State that likes to push the basketball up the floor, you better be on your horse and moving if you're Washington.
4-point ball game here early on. Citron. Area fend, foul line jumper. Doesn't go. Engsler offensive board, kicks it. Melbourne left open. Off the mark. Burton on the rebound and the push with Citron to beat. And they're going to get a whistle and a foul called on Sonia Citron.
She's trying to make her way to the rim, averaging just under 11 points this season for the Valkyries. Well, boy, at Northwestern, I mean, she was 3 times named Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten. And you thought she was going to come in and be this defensive stalwart, which she is.
Yes.
She brings great energy over there. But, man, she's been able to be an offensive threat. 5 assists a game to go along with those 11 points. Just under 11 for her. She's been a monster.
Checking in for the first time, newly acquired JC Sheldon, and for more on her, Meg McDonald.
Yeah, Megan, I had a chance to talk to JC and asked her if any of these players on the Mystics have helped her more so than others, and she said it's weird calling the rookies because she kind of feels like a rookie essentially, but the rookies have been super helpful. She pointed out Georgia specifically because she brings a different perspective from the sideline, showing her the ropes, and of course, she did tell me she was a little nervous going into the game on Sunday in Dallas because she didn't want to mess up any of the schemes, but once she was out there, she got a little more settled in.
Thank you so much, Meg, as Shook Sutton gets that jumper to go. And you have a great relationship going back to the Big Ten days with JC Sheldon.
Yeah, JC Sheldon was a monster at Ohio State, but she was also serving as an assistant coach last season on the bench for the Buckeyes and had a chance to coach against some of the players she's playing with currently.
Hayes goes down hard, is also fouled. They call that on JC Sheldon, and interestingly enough, Tip Hayes hasn't played much against the Mystics, has been hurt in both.
Yeah, 33 minutes combined in those 2 games, but Tiffany Hayes right there getting a body bump by JC Sheldon, and she'll head to the line as a swipe down after that body bump as well.
When you're talking about Veronica Burton and just what she's been able to do, she has the assignment of Sonia Citron, but you look at the 2 games specifically against Washington, 16 points, 56% shooting from the floor. So to your point of the offense being an added value of what she can bring.
Yeah, and 5 of 7 from the three-point line for Burton against the Mystics this season so far. So definitely someone you need to be made aware of as soon as she crosses the half-court line.
Had her season high 22 against the Mystics in May. 8 on the shot clock, Sheldon. That one doesn't go. Burton on the rebound here, pushing quickly up the floor. Try to go to Fag Benley. Citron deflects. Sheldon up the floor. Citron into the body of Burton, too strong. Hayes rebounded. And then Citron's gonna pick up one of those unfortunate 80-foot type of fouls, her second.
She just couldn't get herself out of the way. And then she said, "My bad," to her teammates right there, because she knew that miscue is gonna get her rotated to the bench with those 2 early ones here halfway through the first quarter.
And that will bring veteran Alicia Clark off the bench, returning to DC.
There's so much love for Alicia Clark. I mean, she's a bright light, but she's also a fierce competitor. 3 championships under her belt as well, coming back to DC for her second stint.
Salon trying to go to Fag Benley. And it's deflected out of bounds. We have a timeout on the floor.
Such a dominant rookie campaign. The All-Stars, she and Sonia Citron both named to the All-Star team this year.
Here's Dolson back into the ball game. Clark the 3. That one doesn't go. Ileana Rupert into the game with the rebound.
Well, what the Valkyries love to do, and we've seen it all game so far, they like to run some zone, right? And they want to pack that in there and really make you work. So you have to work well without the basketball against the zone.
Help came, block done by Emily Angsler. Shug Sutton pushing and surveying. Angsler spins and kicks. Sheldon 3. That's off the mark.
And she's a 40% striker from range, so definitely not out of her wheelhouse. Just 0 for 2 right now, but look for her to keep shooting that thing.
Hayes trying to go to Burton, able to collect it. 10 on the shot clock here for Golden State. Zana Lissini working with 6 now. Into the body of Angsler, high off the window, gets it to drop.
She left that pivot foot down, but boy, that was very close. Sliding that one puppy that was on the floor as a pivot foot.
Sutton. Clark goes to Angsler, layup goes.
Tough bucket. That's what Emily Angsler has come off the bench to do. Yeoman's work. Took that solid face cut, a dart of a cut that AC found her on.
Here's Rupert. Kicks, extra one to Hayes in the corner. Attacks baseline. Xanda Lissini, one more to Burton. Her 3 goes. Great ball movement.
Yeah, got it to that second side, and that's what Tiffany Hayes does so well. Played at UConn with Steph Dolson. Dolson was the one that rotated over there, but she still found a way to get it out. So Burton for that triple.
2 for 3 from long range is Golden State. Mystics looking for their first. Compliments of Big Mama Steph.
There you go. Screen assist, assist, all of it. We need it from Steph Dolson, playmaker.
Salon. She hits the 3.
They've been racking up those threes, and we said to be aware of them. Right now, 3 of 4 for the Valkyries from range.
21-12 lead here for Golden State. Sheldon, cut off, finds Clark down low. Misses that one short. Loose ball collected by Burton.
Just nice positioning inside by Alicia Clark. Just got walled up there.
Extra one, Xanda Lissini steps into it. High archer.
That was a rainbow of a triple by Xanda Lissini.
Consistency on the offensive end, just 33%, but it's a long game.
That's what it started slowly, but gain momentum as the game evolves. We're getting used to one another yet. I mean, they have two pieces on the floor right now.
Left that short. Then Lissini the rebound.
Yep.
Over you.
Yep. My eyelids started twitching. I let you say it.
Probably late into the ball game here for Golden State. 9 seconds to play in the quarter. Here's Lake goal baseline. Alicia kicks it. Late. Kicks it. Hayes thought about it. 6 on the shot clock. Hayes will attack. And that's off the window.
I mean, Tiffany Hayes just uses her body so incredibly well. And she hung in the air for emphasis there, but that's what she brings to the court. I mean, she was the 6th player of the year last year after calling it a retirement for her. Came back out of retirement to hoop last season.
Lake deflected that out of bounds. 12 on the shot clock here for Washington.
Let's see what Washington can come up with here. You know, you've seen them set and use good screens, but the Valkyries, they're the #1 team in terms of defensive rating. And they're proving it now by making things extremely difficult on this side of the floor for Washington.
Olsen off the mark. Clark, offensive rebound. Here's Dolson. Can she make it 2 for 2? That's off the mark as Martin controls here. Five seconds now in the quarter. Hayes, 3 seconds, attacking. And Tiffany Hayes gonna head to the free throw line once again. Jade Melvin gonna get called for the infraction.
Well, one thing Golden State is going to do, they're going to put pressure on the rim, and right there you saw the delayed reaction to get to where Tiffany Hayes was going by Jade Melvin, and then got a piece of her arm on the way up.
Golden State now 7 for 7 at the free throw line. Make it 8 for 8. As the Mystics will let the clock go here. A 30-12 lead after the first quarter. Golden